we're going to have some showers and thunderstorms in north central portions of KELOLAND, but we're looking at redevelopment later this afternoon and evening that will spill over into the night. Until then, it's hot and humid to the southeast, not as hot or humid elsewhere. But again, the big story is going to be that potential for severe weather even through the midnight hour as a line pushes eastward toward the I-29 corridor. We'll talk about that in a little more detail and go through the rest of your forecast as well coming up. But until then, midday in KELOLAND starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group, midday in KELOLAND.
Sioux Falls police say no arrests have been made after a deadly weekend shooting. And NASA works on option 2 after declining to use Boeing's Starliner to bring 2 stranded astronauts back to Earth. Good afternoon and thanks for having us in. Sioux Falls police say 1 person is dead and 3 others hospitalized after a shooting at Dunham Park. People in the area reported hearing gunshots around 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Police say there was a large gathering involving people who knew each other. Police say 29-year-old Josh Allen Jr. was shot multiple times and died of his injuries. 3 other men are hospitalized, including 2 people with life-threatening injuries. Sioux Falls police say there have been no arrests made yet. If you have any information about the shooting, you're asked to call the Sioux Falls Police Department or Crime Stoppers. The Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office says a powdery substance discovered at the County Administration Building in Sioux Falls this morning was baking soda. Patrol Commander Adam Zishka with the Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office says they received a report shortly before 9 a.m. this morning about a suspicious powder in a white envelope discovered today in a bathroom on the first floor of the administration building. Sioux Falls Fire Rescue responded and identified the substance as baking soda. Zishka says the building was never on lockdown. Pivoting to weather, if you live in South Dakota, there is a chance for heavy weather in the next 24 hours, right, Adam?
Yeah, it's going to be one of those setups where we keep an eye on things basically starting this afternoon through the evening and even overnight for that matter as a frontal system makes its way through. This is live Doppler radar right now up in north central and northeastern portions of KELOLAND. That's where the bulk of the activity is for now. There's the key phrase though. And you can see some of those heavier showers and thunderstorms rolling through the likes of McLaughlin, Selby, over toward Eureka, right in between Eagle Butte and Gettysburg as well. But we're also looking at Mobridge that's getting in on a decent bit of rain, and not to mention a cool down too. 63, amazing what that rain will do. 63 with a north wind at 3 miles per hour. And we could still hear a few more rumbles of thunder out that way. But for what it's worth, it is definitely not going to be the last we talk about that. So last we talk about fog for a while, though. I'm not going to be dealing with that anytime soon. It is already rather warm and humid to the southeast. We are near 90 in Sioux Falls at 89, 87 over the border in Iowa towards Spencer, 85 Worthington and Brookings, 82 in Valentine. But where we have the rain, we have those 60s in place, especially toward Faith, the aforementioned Mobridge, Eureka, all at 61 and 63 respectively. 63 also in Spearfish and 64 toward Pierre. But then there's the dew point. We had some 80-degree dew points yesterday. It was downright soupy in portions of eastern KELOLAND. And now we have them still in the mid to upper 70s the farther south and east you go. As a result, we do have heat-related headlines in place through the afternoon and into the evening. A heat advisory in orange up toward the Buffalo Ridge and Marshall, down into Sioux Falls, Madison, and Yankton as well. In pink, that is an excessive heat warning for the likes of Lincoln, Clay, and Union counties in South Dakota, and then portions of northwestern Iowa as well. And this will again stay in place through the evening with heat indices approaching and exceeding 105 degrees at times. But then we have satellite and radar that we need to watch. This is not the only thing we'll be seeing today. That's going to push on up to the north and east. So if you're over toward Aberdeen, you might get in on a little bit of rain. But the bigger opportunity is going to be later this evening and overnight as well. Starts out west at first and then pushes eastward as we head into the overnight time frame and even beyond the midnight hour for that matter. That is why we have an enhanced risk that has now just been extended westward as far west as Wall and Oglala Lakota County for this evening going into the night. All forms of severe weather are going to be possible with this. We'll go into more detail on that and go through the rest of your forecast in a little bit.
Sounds good. Thank you, Adam. Houston Speedway in Brandon is preparing for its biggest event of the season for a second time. The Houston High Bank Nationals were postponed due to heavy rain and flooding in June, and now will take center stage for 3 nights over Labor Day weekend, beginning Friday.
It's part of, life and Mother Nature. It's not much we can do about it, and we're just trying to make the best of it and move forward and hopefully have a big event for the fans to end their season on.
Houston will crown its late model street stocks champion on Friday, while the World of Outlaws will be featured all 3 nights. The winner on Sunday will take home $100,000. For most young athletes, improving at the sport of baseball is something that normally can only happen during the short couple of months the season is going. In Rapid City, the Home Plate Collective started up this year to provide year-round off-season training, mentorship, and student-athlete readiness for those wanting to improve out of season. They look to provide services that are both accessible and affordable to all young aspiring baseball players.
Usually kids in Rapid City play from the ages 6 to 12. You only get 2 months each year to develop. That's 12 months to develop at a game that's hard to play. It's impossible to get good at it. So what we aim to do is bring that all year long and make it affordable for kids too.
We'll have more on how Home Plate Collective is helping kids in Rapid City in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND. Summer vacations are coming to an end, but no one had a worse trip than Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore. The NASA astronauts were supposed to spend 8 days in space. Now NASA says they'll be there until February, forced to wait for a SpaceX craft after the Boeing Starliner had a series of problems. Mark Strassman has more on this extended mission.
NASA has decided that Butch and Suni will return with Crew 9 next February.
NASA's decision switched spaceships and space companies mid-mission.
Ignition.
Back in June, astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams flew to the International Space Station on Boeing Starliner. But now they'll fly home next February in a SpaceX Crew Dragon. Despite Boeing's insistence, Starliner is safe to fly them back.
It's disappointing that they're not coming home on Starliner, but that's okay. It's a test flight.
NASA spent weeks analyzing issues Starliner developed on its flight to the ISS, specifically helium leaks and the overheating of small maneuvering thrusters. That propulsion system's critical to the return flight home, including undocking and the braking burn on the return to Earth. The small engines need to fire hundreds of times to keep the spacecraft in the precise orientation for safe re-entry and on-target touchdown. Instead, Starliner will return uncrewed next month.
There was just too much uncertainty in the prediction of the thrusters. It was just too much risk with the crew.
In a statement, Boeing said, "We continue to focus first and foremost on the safety of the crew and spacecraft. We are executing the mission as determined by NASA." But NASA's decision is bound to frustrate the legacy aerospace giant in what the space agency admitted was a dramatic change.
So how now do you begin to rebuild that relationship of trust with Boeing?
Well, I don't think we're rebuilding trust. I think we're looking at the data, and we view the data and the uncertainty that's there differently than Boeing does.
What is certain, Wilmore and Williams will spend another 6 months at the ISS. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Houston.